Hello and welcome to Friday's Masterclass edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where I'm going to be attempting today's Times Cryptic crossword live on screen for you. I think it's not as difficult as Friday can be. It's the snitch rating is about average. Let's just take a quick look at the list of people. So John McCabe is real. Moan. Andy Fisher is real. Yeah, there's not actually that many names I recognise. I'm going to go a bit further down the list and see if we can see anybody who would normally. Yeah, it looks slightly harder than average, I would say. Looking at some of the names, Tom Stubbs in at 1546. That suggests it is quite a tricky puzzle. Anyway, do I have my dictionary? I think I do. Yeah, that's all loaded up. Oh, quick thing, I often say this at the end of the videos, but if you do enjoy these cryptic crossword workthroughs, please do try and like the video or leave a nice comment at the end and teach the algorithm that cryptic crosswords are a thing for the masses. We believe they should be, but the algorithm doesn't believe us. It's most annoying. Anyway, let's go. Gosh, it's so nice to be back with all my stuff, including my microphone. So let's go, one across. Lioness licked wounds. I feel like that's an anagram of lioness. Is it or is it not? Why can't I? If it is an anagram, I'm not immediately seeing what it is. No, I haven't got it. It could be an anagram of lioness. Let's try one down instead. Affair exposed in Australia is ongoing. Affair exposed in Australia. Again, let's just a quick recap. If you're new to these videos, you might not know this, especially if you're new to cryptic crosswords. In a cryptic crossword clue, there is always a quick definition, which is normally a word or a phrase within the clue. It's almost always at the start or the end. So when I'm reading these clues, I'm always trying to spot the definition as quickly as I can. So here I'm wondering whether it's a 7-letter word meaning affair or it's a 7-letter word meaning ongoing. It's one of those two things, I'm pretty sure. I favour ongoing because, again, these clues can also be read often like mathematical equations. So the word is here is doing the duty of equals. So affair exposed, I'm not sure what that means. That might mean that we're sort of removing the outsides, removing the clothing from the word, the first and the last letter, something like that. In Australia, well, Australia has lots of short abbreviations, OZ being the most obvious one, but AUS also is an abbreviation for Australia. So we need to put something like affair exposed in, I think, a word for Australia to equal a word that means ongoing. But I am just not seeing it. Let's try 9 across. Names withheld and no fuss. Okay, I have got this. Okay, so this indicates to me this is a clever constructor because this is a very cleverly worded clue. And again, actually, the advice I've given previously is good here. So we need to think hard about what could be the definition. Given it's most likely to be at the start or the end of the clue, can we think of a 3-letter word that means names? Tricky. Can we think of a 3-letter word that means fuss or no fuss? And I can think of a 3-letter word that means fuss, and it's the word ado, as in much ado about nothing. Now, if I tell you the answer to this clue is ado, can you see why? And it's rather cute. I'll start to lead you towards why it's the answer by looking up N in the dictionary. Because if we look up N, hopefully, we will find, here we go, there. N is an abbreviation for the word name. So names here withheld. That sort of suggests we might have to remove N or N's from something, doesn't it? And look at the phrase and no. And if I remove the N's from the phrase and no, I would get a do. And that's why it's the answer. It's very cute, isn't it? And look at this. We get absolute nonsense in the checking positions. An A and an O in a word, they're not going to be, well, I doubt they're going to be useful. Should we try, have I looked at 5 across? No, let's try 5 across. Sacred place of frenzied Tuscan maidens. Okay, I don't know what this is, but I have an idea. Now, again, we can read this one as a mathematical equation. So, sacred place of, and of here is being used in the sense of made out of. So we can construct a 7-letter word for a sacred place out of, so that of is doing the duty of equals, frenzied Tuscan. Well, that means we need to treat the letters of the word Tuscan in a frenzied way. We need to anagram them. That would give us 6 of the 7 letters. And M is a valid abbreviation for maiden. And that comes from cricket scoring. So let's have a quick look at that. Maiden over. It's interesting, it's a plural though in the clue, isn't it? I would expect it to be... Just wondering if the plural abbreviation is justified by anything in the dictionary. I would expect it to be, but I'm not seeing it immediately. And we get all the ones about the money supply, M0, M1, M2, etc. So okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. So maybe I've misunderstood the clue, but what I'm going to try and do is to think of an anagram of Tuscan and M that means a sacred place. And I haven't got one yet. I mean, how can it not be an anagram of Tuscan and M? It must be. I can't think of it. That's really annoying. Let's try 5 down. Erected huge house in part of London. Okay. So again, the advice I've given so far is not bad in terms of thinking of this as a mathematical equation. Can you think of any 4-letter words that mean erected or mean part of London? Now there is a part of London that I can think of that's 4 letters long. And that's Soho. And I think that's going to be the answer. Now, how do we get to this? Well, that's much more tricky. So, erected huge. Believe it or not, that's saying the word erect means to put up. So, if you put up something in a down clue, it's saying reverse something that means huge. And you may look at this string of letters and think, well, nothing means huge here, and that I would totally understand that, because this is, I mean, it's one of these pieces of crossword ease as I call it, which is fairly ludicrous, and it's actually OS. Now OS I think stands for outsize, meaning huge. Let's just see if I can justify that for you. No, it's not going to be there. It should be here. It really should. I was expecting it to be. I was expecting it to be here. It definitely can. I've seen it used before, and I'm not now seeing it, which is very. Maybe it's in only newer versions of Chambers. The electronic version I have is 20 years old, I think now. But you'll have to take it on trust. Oh, there it is. Sorry, I missed it. OS, outsize. There it is, meaning big. So we think of a word or an abbreviation for big, OS. We erect it, so we put it upwards. That gives us SO. And house can be abbreviated to HO. I might as well show it, seeing as we're in the mood for looking up abbreviations. HO, house. There we go. And I fully sympathise. If you're looking at these first few clues and you're thinking, well, hang on, to solve 9 across, I needed to know that N was could be an abbreviation for name. To solve 5 down, I needed to know that huge could be OS and house could be HO. This is too much. It gets easier. Most things that you would expect to have an abbreviation, the abbreviations have to be supported by the dictionary. So let's look at this clue, for example. Stylish toy boy paid peanuts. You can't just abbreviate the word stylish to S because it won't be supported by the dictionary. So a lot of things, you might not know that they can be abbreviated, but you would suspect they might be able to be abbreviated. And I think that, so Oscar, for example, there, you might have heard of people using Oscar in the International Radio Alphabet for O. So I would expect that to be an O, and it would be justified by the dictionary. Fool, old lady. O can be an abbreviation for old. I'm just sort of picking out the clues here. So the more you do, the more these things will come naturally. Anyway, so we've now got an S in this Tuscan one that I think is going to be an anagram. Oh, sanctum. Oh, Simon, what a silly man. There we go. Sanctum is the answer. So we were on the right lines. I couldn't quite see maidens, the plural of maiden being M, but it's probably there somewhere. And let's try 6 down now. Travelled around with chap who painted sea creatures. Right. Chap who painted. I don't know what this one is yet, but when you're searching in a clue and trying to work out which side of the clue is the definition, it's often useful to try and pick out words in the clue that are changing the position of things, or could be viewed as changing the position of things, because those things are probably wordplay. So if we look at this clue, travelled around. Now around, if you turn a word around, you would reverse it, wouldn't you? So I suspect, I don't know the answer to this clue, it's 8 letters. I suspect travelled around is a word like ran or something like that. If you travelled somewhere, you ran there. And we turn that around and that would give us nar. Actually, narwhals. Oh, it is. That's what it is. Okay, I've now got this. But all of that thinking allows us to hone in on what's likely to be the definition, which is the other side of the clue, the words sea creatures. So 8-letter word sea creatures beginning with nar. I finally got this. W can be an abbreviation for with. Sorry, another abbreviation. A chap who painted is Howells. I think he was a portrait painter, wasn't he? Back in some century that is quite long ago. So we can put all that together. We get narwhals, which are those tusked things that live in the ocean. That's about all I know about them. So let's try 7 down. More than is proper, couple made out. Okay. Now this belongs to a family of clues that is very important to understand. And that's the homophone. So the words made out here are indicating that if you hear something, you might make it out. And so you might see that in a clue. It might say we hear, or by the sounds of it. And all of that is hinting at a homophone. So the way these homophone clues work is we see the word couple. We need to think of a word that means couple. And that word is the word two, T-W-O. Now, obviously, if we hear the word two, T-W-O, it sounds exactly the same as this word, two. And that word means more than is proper. Something is too much. It's more than enough, isn't it? So this is a homophone. And you have to be careful with homophones, because it's very important here, obviously, that the answer, if the answer was TWO, we would get the puzzle wrong if we entered this. So you have to make sure, you have to really read the clue carefully to make sure that we understand what part of the clue we're having to change to the different spelling. So here it's very clear because made out is after the word for couple. So it's the word for couple that we're hearing. And therefore the other side of the clue is the definition. So let's make sure I don't get that wrong by changing it back again. So that's a homophone. Let's try 8 down. Order male partner for the night. Order male partner for the night. It's quite a good surface, isn't it? Order male partner for the night. Male can be abbreviated to M. So I suspect if the word male here is this M, that would suggest that we're looking for a 7-letter word which means order. And we need to think of a 6-letter phrase that means, or word that means partner for the night. And I don't know what that is. I'm wondering if it's the day or something, you know, as in the night and day. So, partner for the night is a... I don't know. That's an interesting one. Shall we... Let's try 10 across. Ah, okay. Right. I don't know what this is either. But I've just told you that when we looked at this clue, this was part of the family of clues that were homophones. Well, let's look at this clue. This is another one of those. So, rough male sheep, reportedly. Now, reportedly is saying... You'd hear it, wouldn't you? If something was reported to you, you'd hear it. So this is another homophone. And then we've got the job of working out whether we're hearing a phrase that means rough male sheep, or we're hearing a word that means sported. Rough, approximate. Oh, I'm not sure. Bother. I suspect this is a word that means sported, but I'm not actually sure. Let's try 12 across. Oh, dance. It's probably cha-cha, is it? Companion can be ch. For daughter in Russian cottage. Well, a dacha is a Russian cottage. Oh, I see. Yes, so it is cha-cha. So it's cha-cha, which, I mean, is not too difficult once you've got the H of narwhals in this position. So dance is at the start of the clue, so it's a potential definition, and it is the definition we're looking for. This is the droid we're looking for. But how does the rest of the clue work? Well, if I told you that dacha is a Russian cottage, so see if you can read the rest of it and understand why it works from a wordplay perspective. Companion for daughter in Russian cottage. And what we have to do is exactly what the clue says. We have to take a word for a Russian cottage, dacha, and we have to put in an abbreviation for companion, which is ch, for an abbreviation for daughter, which is d. So we replace the initial d with ch, that gives us cha-cha, which is the answer. And just to show you that ch can be companion. There it is, companion of honor. I mean, it's tricky. I know. I mean, as we're going through this, and I read the comments every week, I realise how difficult this must be for newcomers to the form. But it gets easier. Let's try 13 down. Stylish could be chic, couldn't it? Toy boy paid, peanuts, chicken feed or something. That's right. That's lovely. Okay. So we're very lucky there because we had the C at the start, and stylish and chic are so synonymous. That's another tip. We're on a tip day today. This is Mark's favourite tip for cryptic crosswords. Build yourself a bank of short synonyms and try and think of short synonyms for all the words in the clue. So I know the word stylish has a synonym chic. So once I get the C here, you know, we've almost solved the clue already when we think of chic, because then we know that the other side of the clue is going to be the definition. So we just have to figure out the series of short synonyms and slot them together. So we got chic, toy boy is Ken, as in Barbie and Ken, so a boy who's a toy. And then if you're paid something, you're feed. as in FWE being the word fee. That's a payment. So feed and paid are synonymous. Lovely clue. It's actually a lovely clue, isn't it? Stylish toy boy paid peanuts. Let's try that one with a K in it. 19. Children, Maverick is about to fly past my window. There's nothing I can do about it. Maverick does it almost every video. Sorry about the noise. Children cycling slip sideways on road. Skid? Yeah, that's what it is. So again, knowing the answer is skid, see if you can justify it. Because if you can, it'll show that your brain is starting to think about these clues in the right way. So remember, we have to split the clue somewhere so that one side of the clue is the definition. Now the definition, knowing the answer is skid, you can see that the definition is going to be slip sideways on road. So why is this children cycling? Well, you can probably see that the word kids is very similar to the word skid, and if we cycle the word kids, so we sort of put the end letter to the start, we get the word skid. So that's how that's working. Let's keep going with these checking letters. 20 down. Comedian periodically nearly faltering. Don't know. I thought it was going to be an anagram of most of comedian, but I don't really like that as a thought, actually. Because the clue doesn't grammatically say that that's what we have to do. Comedian periodically nearly faltering. That's weird. I don't know what that is. Shall we try? Let's try 27. Might as well. Regularly envied woman. Okay. So here we see the word regularly, and that comes up a lot in cryptic crosswords. In fact, it's a similar type of thing to periodically. Periodically and regularly, to me, and I've been doing these things for a while, suggest I need to take periodically occurring letters from a word, or regularly occurring letters, which might mean the odd numbered letters in a word or the even numbered letters. So if we go back to this clue, look at the word envied. It's 6 letters. If we take the odd letters, the odd numbered letters in positions 1, 3 and 5, what does it spell out? E-V-E. Eve. Eve is the name of a woman, and that's the answer. Now let's go back here and see if we can apply that principle. I have been trying to apply it. I couldn't. I haven't managed to do it. But comedian periodically could mean take the periodically occurring letters, the even numbered or odd numbers letters from the word comedian. But this D is horrible, isn't it? It just doesn't work. So I'm a bit perplexed by that one. Should we try 23? Am returning jumper, boy left behind. Okay, I have got this one. It's a nice clue again. So let's apply our principle. Let's try and decide which side of the clue is the definition. So am or am returning, 8 letters. Or even a word meaning am returning jumper. No, there are no 8-letter words which mean am returning jumper. So let's put that to one side. So it doesn't feel like that side of the clue is the definition to me, especially when we think about phrases like am returning. That seems to be saying return either the word am or a word that means am. Seems very clearly wordplay. So that suggests the other side of the clue is the definition, which means it's going to mean behind or left behind. Now, going back to the start, if we return the word am, that would give us MA, wouldn't it? Now, can we think of a word that means left behind that begins MA? And you can see how suddenly this becomes easier. Marooned means left behind. Well, let's see why that works. We've got a returning of the word am. We've got a jumper. That's a roo, as in a kangaroo. And then a boy's name is Ned. So ma-roo Ned, marooned. Now what's this then? Dudgeon? Doddery? Oh, no. It is. It's Doddery. I don't believe it. Who would have thought Ken Dodd would make an appearance in the Times crossword? Though I don't know how many people from outside the UK will be familiar with Ken Dodd, but Ken Dodd used to be famous on British television for his pet emu, which was this puppet. An emu was a bird, so this might be emu here. An emu would sort of go and peck at Ken Dodd or any interviewer, or I think didn't he attack Michael Parkinson? I might be wrong. I might be talking total nonsense, but I think this is a reference to Ken Dodd, the comedian. And then the periodic letters we're taking are from the word nearly. And you can see if we take the even letters, we get ERY, which is ERY. We get doddery, which means, what was it, frail or something, faltering. So that's quite a surprise. Let's try 14 down. Build on island group after influx of key capital. Addis Ababa? That's a capital, isn't it? I quite like Addis Ababa because it's got it's got ad for build at the start. Group. Why is this? So build, that looks good. Add. On island. Island can be I or IS. Group. Oh, group is ABBA, is it? Yes, it is. This is a great crossword. ABBA, the Swedish pop group, after influx of key. Well, a key in a cryptic crossword sense can be a musical key, the key of A in this instance. So we add the A into ABBA and we get Addis Ababa, which is the capital of Ethiopia. So that's very surprising. Let's try 29 across. With bitterness, acridly. Start to admonish, that would be A, that could be that A. Counsel, I think that can be CR. Doing nothing, if you're doing nothing, you're doing it idly. So acridly is right. 21 down. Mostly stick together to protect single or joint beneficiary. Mostly stick together. Oh, I've got this. Yeah, okay. If you stick together, you cohere. So we have to take most of the word cohere. That gives us cohere, like that. And that protects single. Well, protect here is being used as it's sort of surround, to envelop. Single, a single is one. And that would give us a weird looking word, cohere, which I think is a word, and it means, you know, somebody who participates in a legacy, who inherits under a will, is a co-heir. So if you might be an heir or an heiress to a big estate, well, a co-heir might be, you know, your brother or something who's also inheriting. So I think cohere must be the answer there. It's a strange word, but I'm not changing it, but let's look it up to see if it's justified by the dictionary. There it is. And there's coheiress as well, a joint heir. A coheritor, indeed. Okay, have we looked at that one? No. Let's have a look at this. British Airedale angrily. Well, let's stop there. What could that mean? Is an Airedale, is that like a terrier or something? So it might be referring to an angry dog. But angrily, adverbs like that, they often suggest anagrams. So I'm wondering... It's interesting. Okay, I mean, I was going to suggest it might be BR plus an anagram of Airedale to give us the 10 letters that we need. But actually, it then has to bite the backside of Cocteau, the French poet. Well, what might that mean in a cryptic crossword sense? What's the backside of a word? Well, the cryptic crossword constructor would like you to think that a word can have a backside. And as in a bottom. But I suppose the back side of something might be the last letter of it, the U. So if we anagram Airedale and U, that would give us 9 letters, and perhaps B can be British. I'm not actually sure if that's right, but it probably could. So that would give us our 10-letter anagram fodder, B, U, and Airedale, which we're going to have to anagram to give the name of a French poet. And I'm going to claim that that's going to be Baudelaire or something. Could that be right? Oh, I'm not sure, actually. I'm not very... Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. I thought I'd heard of Baudelaire, but then I thought it might begin B-E-A-U, and this can't begin B-E-A-U. Oh, I don't know. Oh, unless it ends in some weird French ending, like no, because it's biting the backside, so the U needs to be in the middle somewhere. You see, this is just my ignorance. I mean, there's going to be a French poet that's an anagram of that stuff. It probably does begin with B. So maybe bored? Lay. Oh, Baudelaire or something then? Maybe something like that? Baudelaire, that could be a word. Is that? I don't know if I've used the anagram fodder there. I think I have. Baudelaire. That might be it. That might be right. If that was right, let's have a look back. Look at 8 down again. Order male partner for the night. Order. If you order something, you see it could be a different meaning of the word order, like an order of animals or something. Male partner for the night. I don't know. Let's try, and we have to bear in mind that Baudelaire might be wrong as well. 4 down looks like it's 2 words. Let's have a look at this. Asteroid affected sailors in front half of ship first. Oh, I don't know. I think this is going to be the name of an asteroid, which is a bit worrying. I don't know the names of many asteroids. I don't think Halley's Comet, is that an asteroid? Or is an asteroid the same as a comet? Probably isn't. Affected can be camp. If you act in a camp manner, you act in an affected manner. But affected could be an anagram indicator, so it could be an anagram of asteroid. And then sailors in front half of ship first. Unless the whole clue means first. I did not say her name. I didn't say it. I didn't. She always likes to get in on the act. First. If this did mean first, something headed or something. Or first, or something placed. I'm not sure. We've sort of done all right with the eastern part of the grid, haven't we? But we've done very poorly with the western part. So let's try and get some letters in here. Seated, I get up and take off. Okay, it's a nice clue. Again, everything I've said is relevant to this one. So we have to work out which is the side of the clue, which is the definition. And perhaps the easiest way to do that in this instance is to think about short synonyms for things. So, can we think of a short synonym for the word seated? If you were seated somewhere, you would be sat there, wouldn't you? I get up, I rise. That creates the word satirize. And that means if you take off something, you satirize it. So that would seem to be correct. Let's try 15 across. Fool old lady. Oh, that's a terrifying clue. I mean, O can be an abbreviation for old. So, but your old lady could be your wife, it could be your mother, it could be your grandmother. I don't know. Have I looked at one down? Oh, I have. This was the Australia. Affair exposed in Australia is ongoing. Ongoing. Oh, I don't know. Have I looked at that one? No. Let's have a look at this, because I can see immediately this is an anagram. Nuns are poets so madly. So again, that if something's mad, if treated madly, it's all over the place. And nuns are poets so seems to be 11 letters. So we need a word that means impulsive. Spontaneous is the answer. So that wasn't too difficult. That gives us an N in this one. So old lady, fool, old lady. Oh, I still can't get that. That's bad, isn't it? Let's try 3 down. Oscar moved back and forth. Oscar moved back and forth. So I want this to begin with O because Oscar can be it's the international radio alphabet word for the letter O. So how would it work then? Oscar, and then perhaps a word that means moved that we reverse. Or it could be a 5-letter word which means moved and the whole clue means back and forth. I'm not sure I like either of those thoughts particularly. Okay, let's try 18 down. That would be a very useful one to get. Reveal boozer is supporting large hospital. Reveal boozer. A boozer can be somebody who drinks a lot, like a sot, S-O-T, or it could be the name of a pub. You go to the local boozer. So pub or bar or inn. Or publish would be to reveal. That's right, isn't it? So it's pub for boozer, and then is supporting L for large. You'd see that on a t-shirt label. If it had L on the label, you'd know it meant large. So is supporting that. It's a down clue. So is can act as a supporting. It's sort of taking the weight of, if you like. And then hospital can be H. And then we get publish, and we get 4 starting letters from that. So that's useful, hopefully. Right, experts. I would think that was prose. Study glass eye, perhaps. Was that going to be prosthetic? Or prosthesis? A study is a thesis. Okay, experts, prose, thesis for study, and a glass eye is a prosthesis. So, okay, not too bad once we had the P. Let's keep going with these starting letters. 22. Well endowed society bores thrive marvellously at last. Society bores thrive marvellously at last. Thrive. I need a 4-letter word for thrive beginning with B. It's boom, isn't it? Okay, so sometimes I wonder if these constructors put these in on Fridays just to see what my reaction to them is. This is the word bosomy, which is not a word that one particularly uses. if I'm honest, but I think it is bosomy, meaning well endowed. And I think the way it works is, gosh, it's going to be embarrassing if this isn't the right answer. I think society can be S, and that's boring into a word that means thrive, which is boom. And then marvellously at last is the last letter of the word marvellously, which is Y. And that gives us bosomy, which must be a word for, I suppose, chesty or something. I'm not sure. 17 down. Steam iron briefly dispersed spray. Steam iron briefly dispersed. Well, what I'm thinking this might be, if we take the word iron and treat it briefly, we could chop off its last letter. That would give us IRO. Add that to the word steam, and that does give us 8 letters, which if we disperse them, we might anagram. So I'm wondering if this is an anagram of steam and IRO to mean spray. Oh, is it atomizer or something? Yeah, atomizer. That's what one of those perfume things is, isn't it? It's an atomizer. I'm going to try 26 down. C, case of Italian wine. Yeah, okay. I mean, this is one of these outrageous pieces of crossword ease. C, believe it or not, can be abbreviated to V in the dictionary. Although also I think C is a spelling of the letter C, as in C. But anyway, I think it's V in this instance, because then I can add the case of the word Italian. So the first and last letters of the word Italian, the case of the word, that would give us vin, which is obviously the French word for wine, but I think it's been adopted by the English as well. So let's check. There we go. Vin, wine. Now, why on earth, you might say, is C? I think it's from vide, from Latin, but I could be wrong. Let's go and have a look. V, there. So is that from Vene, Vidi, Vici or something? That might be a way that we've heard of that in English. I'm not sure. Never did Latin at school. I've only picked it up from doing lots of crosswords. But there we see it. So C can be the letter V. And that gives us this one. I mean, so it's very, very hard to justify that if you're new to cryptic crosswords. It must be so difficult. But that's what it is. So is this 100? I'm not sure, actually. Worm's dog, angry looking figure. Worms. Angry looking figure. Well, what is this? Hang on. Oh, let's get 24 down. Object to minute or minute diamonds. Well, okay. So an abbreviation for minute is min. Diamonds can be abbreviated to D, and that's from bridge scoring. If you bid 1 diamond, you might represent that as 1D. And that would give us min plus D, which is mined. And if you mind something, you object to it. So I want this to be 100 then, or the American spelling of honoured. Dog, angry looking figure. If you're angry looking, you're red, aren't you? So worm's dog. What is going on there? Is that hund, as in a dachshund? I'm wondering if worms could be a word for a German word for a dog, and a figure being 100. Well, as in a number, a figure. Figure does mean a number, doesn't it? So I'm thinking this is 100. I'm not sure about the word worms in the clue. Seems to be indicating Well, I feel like it's some reference to Dachshund or something, so a German word for a hound. But I don't quite understand it. I'm not going to change the answer, so I'm just going to look up worms. But also, worms, if it was the possessive, it would need an apostrophe. Worms dog. I'm not sure. Someone in the comments will have to explain that. This looks like investigate. Look into investigate. Okay, so it is investigate. We have to justify it. Endowing missing knight with a vacant title. Goodness me. Okay. If you're endowing something, you're investing in it. So investing missing knight, which is an N in chess scoring, that would give us investig. And with A, that's this A here, and vacant title is saying vacate or empty out the word title. So take out its middle, and that would just give us the T and the E, the first and the last letter. And that gives investigate. And thank goodness we didn't have to solve that cold, because that would not be an easy clue to solve cold. So now we're just left with sort of trying to work our way back up into the middle, or so into the top. So we need to get this one, I think. Asteroid. Affected. So they still quite like the idea that this is an anagram of asteroid somehow. Sailors in front half of ship. That's like the prow or something. And the whole thing means first. Asteroid. Unless it's something to do with space here. I don't know. That's bad. That's annoying as well, because that means I'm going to have to solve something else. Oh, this was the one I thought was an anagram. Wounds or... So, oh, lesions. Lesions would work there. Right, that's going to be helpful. Let's try one down. Affair, liaison? Oh, it's an... Oh, Simon. There's one of those in every Times crossword. There's only one, but it's very good if you don't spot them. And the word liaison is such a weird spelling anyway. But look, it's actually spelt out in the answer. So exposed in the phrase Australia is ongoing, you can see spelt out L-I-A-I-S-O-N, liaison, and a liaison is an affair. So is this nana or something? Oh, a nana, I suppose. Yeah, a nana is like a banana, it's a fool. And your old lady is your nana. So that's going to be right there. We got the O from Oscar there, but it's not going to be helpful. We need to get the... Oh, this is the same one again. Sailors in front, half of ship first. First. Asteroid. Star. Star something? Asteroid. I don't know. Let's go. Oh, this was the homophone, wasn't it? Rough male sheep. A male sheep is a ram, isn't it? There's probably other words for male sheep. I don't know what's... There's lots of short ones beginning with T. I want to say tup, teg, and things like that. I'm not sure. Rough male sheep, reportedly sported. Rough. Something most? What is this one? 8 down. Oh, this is the order of the mailing, ordering the male partner for the night. Order. Male. Mandate. Yeah, okay, so I've been getting obsessed with M being an abbreviation for male, which is true. It is. But if we think of another, just a short synonym for a male is a man. And once we think of man, an order is a mandate. And your male partner for the night might be your man date, which is nice, isn't it? So, okay, so what's this? Something down? Rough something tumble down or something is what I'm wondering. Feather down? Rough male sheep. Reportedly sported. If it was something like feather down, why do I think I've heard of feather down? Or something worn? Rough, weather worn. Oh, I quite like weather worn as an idea. What would that could be onward then? Oh, move back and forth. Onward is right. Wow. Okay. Because drawn can mean moved, and we put that word back after the O, and it equals a word that means forth, as in to go forth is to go onward. So I think this is weather worn. Now why? Let's try and work it out. So rough is weather worn. Male is going to be he. Sheep reportedly. Oh, hang on, why? Male sheep. Oh, is a weather, as in a bellwether. I wonder if that's right. Weather, W-E-T-H-E-R, might be a word for a male sheep. W-E-T-H-E-R, which obviously sounds the same as weather, W-E-A-T-H-E-R. And then worn would be sported, as in if you sport some new clothes, you wear them. So I think I'm not going to change that. I like weather worn, but I think the way it's justified is going to be via that. A castrated ram. There we go. I did not know that, but a wether is a castrated ram, which is certainly a male sheep. So this one is what then? Star something? Wow. Asteroid affected. Star-studded is what. Sailors in front half of ship first. Well, the front half of the word ship is SH, so I'm wondering if we have to put SH at the start of one of these words. Star affected. What is going on here? It's just going to be, I've just got to think of something that fits. Asteroid. Oh, unless it is an anagram of asteroid. It could still be, couldn't it? Sailors in front half of ship. It's tricky this, because I'm still not sure what the definition is, which is bizarre given we've got all the checking letters. An asteroid, maybe there's a euphemism for an asteroid, like a star searcher or a star streaker or something like that. Star shader. Sailors could be tars, couldn't they? Every nice girl likes a sailor, every nice girl likes a tar. In front half of ship, well, that would be SH. And if you're first, you are first. Aced? No. Ahead? No. Oh, come on, Simon. What is it? I feel this is good. So it's going to mean an asteroid. And all I've got to do now is think of a 4-letter word which means first. What's wrong with my brain? Oh, this is just appalling. Star-shaped? Asteroid might be star-shaped, I suppose, but why would aped be first? Asteroid. Yeah, asteroid. So rather than thinking of the asteroid, the object, asteroid probably does mean star-shaped, literally. So I really like star-shaped. Okay, so affected sailors. Oh, so I think affected is yeah, so affected is aped. If you ape something, you copy it, don't you? But I think aped might be a synonym for affected. And then sailors, tars, in front half of ship. The front half of the word ship is S and H, and that goes first ahead of the word that means affected. So I think star-shaped is what we're after there. And that is going to be what I will submit. So let's see. Oh, Baudelaire, I didn't check that. Let's hope that's right. It is right. There we go. Wow, I think that's right. I'm never quite sure with the cursor. Can we... I think this is... I hope that's right. I don't know whether that means it's wrong or right, this slightly orangey colour. I mean, could there be another word, another phrase here? Let's look up asteroid. Yeah, it looks... Oh, literally, star-shaped is listed. So I don't think there's anything else. I think that must be right, and it's just that's the way the cursor shows itself. So a really interesting puzzle. I mean, I went through it quite slowly today just to sort of try and draw out some of the ideas that are going to be necessary if you are new to these puzzles. I hope I haven't made it too tedious by doing that, but some people like me to race on the quick crossword, or quick cryptic, so let's have a go at that. Just for the end of the video, so I'm not going to give much commentary here. I'm just going to go as fast as I can. Let's see what we can do. Let's go. City celebrity interrupted by steel band at first. Oh goodness. I don't know. That's terrible. It's a terrible start. One with income from property. Not so much. Otherwise, is that Lessel? Maybe. Lisbon. Yeah, that's right. Nautical equipment transaction. Sale. God, that's a homophone. Perhaps catch by chance located in this country, it's said. No, oh, over here. Over here, gosh. One aim sniper. Let's try this one. Dress artist record. Sorry. Workers' greed ran wild. Oh, what is that? Gardener. Gardener. Let's try this one. Those inside sect with figure in charge. Joyful. Ecstatic. Let's go there. Bustling activity. Subdue. Same answer as in the normal one. Enticing learner. University. Indication luring. Okay. Happy experience. Parking by field. Quite. A pleasure, I think. Pleasure. To higher level as purest aspirant or no? Upstairs. Totally different meaning. Let's try one down. Rapid pace a clip. Yeah, that looks right. Ancient Med City Gate Arch recollected. Ancient Mediterranean city. Oh, come on, Simon. What is that? Carthage. Gosh. Plan is doomed from the start. Dead outsiders leave. Oh, idea, maybe? I think it's idea. 11 down. This is potentially dangerous. It may end disastrously. Potentially dangerous. It's an anagram. I just haven't done it. Oh, come on, Simon. Terrible, terrible. Winter coming is too much for contact system. Goodness me, no idea. Deny any connection with noise as no idea. One owing money. Debtor, surely. Yeah. Heavy defeat. Route. Manager. Oh no, maybe not then. Manage. I'm not sure. Awkward position as public official. Mrs. Centerpiece. Coroner without a middle. Goodness me. New OC aims to produce colourful design. Mosaic. Investigation research. That feels right. I'm going to put it in. Name call. Entitled to compete and fit for match. Fit for match. Entitled to compete. And fit for match. It means something like eligible. Yeah. As an eligible bachelor. Deny any Oh, look at these horrible ones. Intercom, is that what this is? Contact system. Oh, that's an anagram. I've been undone by anagrams today. Oh, dynamite is quite dangerous, potentially. Deny any connection with noise. Deny any connection with. Disown. Must be that. Heavy defeat. Is it route? Manager. I don't know. A heavy defeat. I can't think of what else it could be. I'll have to go with that. It was right. Okay, well that's lucky. I don't quite understand. I'm a bit perplexed by that one. Heavy defeat. Manager. Oh, it's manager finally R and then dismissed. If you're dismissed in cricket, you're out. So I was trying to think of a word for 5-letter word for manager and chop off the last letter. And because I was under pressure, I didn't see it. But let's see where we came. 13th. Unlucky for me. And still not terrible. I mean, not absolutely terrible. Quite terrible, but not absolutely terrible. That's how I would sum that up. Let me know in the comments if you enjoy these videos. I really enjoy making them, so I hope that some people enjoy watching them. They're a bit different from the Sudoku ones. Shows a different side to the puzzling world. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.